In this video, we're going to talk about serious implications for nurses who are arrested and charged for domestic violence in Florida. My name's Adam Rossen, founder and CEO of the Rossen Law Firm, a criminal defense firm in South Florida. We handle domestic violence cases all the time, and I wanted to make this video because quite often we have nurses or medical professionals who get arrested and charged with domestic violence, and then their lives get immediately thrown upside down. And it's a really big deal to them, of course. And there's a lot of intricacies that happen with nurses and medical professionals that don't happen if you're not in one of those fields. So let's just get right in and talk about it right away. Okay. So when you get arrested for domestic violence and you're a nurse, what's going to happen is Florida's Agency of Healthcare Administration, ACA, is going to find out. They're running background checks on every single licensed nurse, medical professional, every single day. And usually the client of ours, right, the nurse, will get a letter from ACA within 2 or 3 days, usually certified mail, letting them know that their nursing license has been suspended indefinitely pending the investigation of this case. And so consider this. You've been arrested for domestic violence. You're most likely kicked out of your house. You don't know where you're going to have to live. You have a no contact order. You've had to pay for bond. All of these things are going on. And now you're being told you can't go back to work. Okay. These are very serious implications that can happen with this. And a lot of times, misdemeanor domestic violence cases are usually misunderstandings. They're usually examples of situations where maybe the parties get a little heated and someone calls the police to be a therapist or to just be an intermediary with zero intentions of the other person getting arrested. Now, again, we're talking misdemeanor domestic. We're not talking felonies and stabbing, shootings, strangulation, anything like that. We're just talking about misdemeanor battery. And sometimes even the person who calls the police ends up being arrested for domestic violence. So you get out of jail, you have no idea where to live, you can't talk to the other person. What if you have children together, right? That's obviously a whole nother issue of stress and anxiety going on. And then within a day or two, you find out that you can't even work and support yourself and pay for that hotel that you have to be at, or pay for your attorney, or whatever the situation may be. And quite often, family arguments are surrounded around money to begin with. So if there were money issues before, well, then now this has been exacerbated and made 10 times worse. So it's so important in these cases to hire the right attorney or the right law firm, because ACA is going to suspend your license immediately. Okay. We've had plenty of cases where this has happened, and we've sprung into action right away. So the best case scenario on this type of issue is if the charges can be dismissed during what's called the pre-file period. Roughly 21 to 40 days post-arrest, the prosecutors are still deciding what are they going to do. Are they going to file charges or not? Are they going to increase charges, reduce charges, or drop them completely? And if we can get this, get a case dismissed within the pre-file phase, well, then at least that client can immediately get their license back, get back to work, resume normal operations in life, and not have to worry about defending a criminal charge for 6 months, 12 months, and in the case of felonies, maybe even 18 or 24 months without being able to work in their chosen profession and skill. So if you find yourself as a nurse who's been arrested for domestic violence, give us a call. We can run you through all of the ins and outs of how this works in the state of Florida. We represent clients all throughout South Florida in state court for domestic violence cases. So if you have something in South Florida and need us, give us a call. Hopefully this information has been helpful to you, because if it's handled the right way, you can get your license back, right? So I want to make sure that everybody understands that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, but it might hurt for a little bit. Okay. You can call us anytime, 754-206-6200.